Hello, hello, hello! Welcome everybody to another live stream of me reading the entire Epstein Files. Jesus Christ, we've got so much to do. But we've made some pretty good progress. Today we are continuing our way through dataset 4. We've done dataset 1, 2, and 3. We've got quite a lot ahead of us. I did try to scout out some specific stuff that was of interest. However, they seem to have disappeared from the DOJ site. So I'm sorry about that. I won't be able to do that today. I was specifically going to go for FTA 0 number. I was going to go for file number 2,416,819, where that shows some of Jeffrey Epstein's very interesting emails. It's in these emails that people are getting named, thanks to some ballsy senators and congressmen. Who are they're basically just testifying, hey, this is what the name actually is, with the DOJ as being just redacting it all. So I'm very glad that people are doing that, and as always, I will praise everybody helping to expose this stuff, my fellow YouTube creators, the politicians as well, that are actually doing what they should be doing. So that's good. But anyway, we are continuing from dataset 4. Now, as always, if I bring it up, nope, that's not it. No, I messed up. Hang on. That's better. There we go. So, as always, this is going... All the profits from this, donations, ad revenue, what have you, is going to go to Speak Out Act Reclaim SOAR, which is the charity created by Virginia Giuffre, who was one of the first people to go public, and who unfortunately suffered a negative legal campaign by Ghislaine Maxwell, and she did unfortunately take her own life. I think it wasn't last year, it was the year before. And I pledged to give all money to this charity when they actually enable public donations, because they don't at the moment. So while the organisation is currently not accepting donations, the moment they do, I'll be sending all over. All the ad revenue, I can bring up the stats and I can just send the amount. Or alternatively, if that doesn't happen, I can send it to another charity. But I will publicly disclose if and when that happens, and I will be open to suggestions when that happens. Anyway, I do that. I say that every time, just to remind everybody. And we are just going to carry on with the files themselves. So we are carrying on from file 5,946, and yeah, considering there's several million, there's at least 2.5 million at the moment. I know people are saying there's 3.5 million, but a lot of it's redacted. Speaking of redactions, we've got redaction, attorney redaction, very useful stuff. And the next one is a completely redacted page. So as always, when we get a fully redacted page like this, there's nothing I can glean from it. I can just count the amount of pages, and based on the context, we can try and work out what's perhaps in there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is 12 fully redacted pages with absolutely nothing to go off on. All that is the this word attorney. So it makes me think that these could be like potential lawyer-client discussions or something like that. But we only have the word attorney to go off, unfortunately, so can't do that. Okay. Redacted, DOB, redacted. Oh, shit. Okay, we got something. NJP response. Unauthorized access, reproduction or dissemination is prohibited. Received at 0702-2019, 1840-28. Doctor redacted. 1840 0702 2019, repeated here, and then it's 23479 and 00209 NY 10100T2, also 02404 66983, text V26279279 685-0, redacted, and they're an organ donor. And this is times 2 here, Miami Beach, FL33139, same here. Type, lick, Class E operator, MTRCY, also DAB, redacted, HT 507, race W, sex F, current license issued 02/12/2014, expires 05/25/2022. Rep lic issued 01/30/18, valid license, SOC, SEC, redacted. So this is potentially, what do you call them? The DMV. These kind of records, and they're using these to try and find other potential victims of Epstein's trafficking. Now, something I've learned is that they have had a little bit of trouble, primarily because the people being trafficked, they were recruited into trafficking others. So that was part of this whole web of Epstein's, but it's also part of the reason why Epstein had them under his thumb, because he had that as blackmail, and he'd potentially take them down for human trafficking as well, or sex trafficking in this case. I think that these victims have basically just been told, nope, you're absolutely fine, we're not going to charge you, we just want Epstein, you're a victim in this, yada yada yada. But that has hampered the investigation in some areas with contacting victims and getting these victims on board. And it's my opinion as well that these people are victims just like Epstein. Not victims just as much as the people that they ended up trafficking, because it's all part of a chain, a part of a web. That's how Epstein expands. It all goes to him. He is the one responsible for all of this. So that's my stance on the matter. Anyway, this information should only be used as authorized by Florida statute, section 119.0712 to C. 1. Emergency contact information contained in a motor vehicle record is confidential and exempt from S. 119.071 and S. 24A, Art 1 of the state constitution. 2. Without the express consent of the person to whom such emergency contact information applies. The emergency contact information contained in a motor vehicle record may be released only to law enforcement agencies for the purpose of contacting those listed in the event of an emergency. And that was 7/2/2019. Emergency contact information, redacted, Miami Beach, Florida, 33139, home, NA, work, NA, cell, nothing there, redacted, last letter is an S. End of DDL, DHS MV response, unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. Okay, and this is just search results. Results, 1-1 of 1. Last name redacted, first name redacted, DAB redacted. Okay. So, gonna go for the name here. This is all redacted. DAB redacted. Age 40, gender female. Few sources. Obviously, we can't do that. SSN redacted. Lex ID redacted. DL redacted. DL state HI. DL redacted. DL state Florida. Issue date Feb 14th. Expiry date May 22nd. Nothing under phones. Nothing under indicators apart from people at work. So addresses. Thomasville, NC 27360-5560, Davidson County. New York 10012-3966, New York County, October 2013 to June 2019. Redacted, Miami Beach, Florida 33139-7382, Miami-Dade County, November 2014, April 2018. Miami Beach, Florida, 33139-4788. Miami-Dade County, Feb 2014 to Nov 2014. Redacted. New York, 10022-6146, New York County. Org 2013, addressing or letter service, newspaper facility. New York, 10021-4102, New York County, March 2012. New York, 10065, New York County, Sept 2011. Redacted. New York, 10065-6218, New York County, Org 2007, Org 2011. Redacted. New York, 10065-0120, sorry, New York County, June 2003, April 2008. Redacted. New York, 10022, 6843, New York County, Jan 2005. Redacted. Honolulu, HI, I'm assuming that's Hawaii, 96816-2014. Honolulu County, May 2001 to June 2001. Redacted. Haliwa, HI, 96712-0833. Honolulu County. March 2000, April 2001. Redacted, New York, 10003-8537, New York County. Results 1 to 1 of 1. Last name redacted, first name redacted, DOB redacted. Your DPPA permissible use, court, law enforcement, or government agencies. Your GLBA permissible use, law enforcement purposes. Your DMF permissible use, no permissible purpose. So it looks like, to give context to this, it looks like they're running a name, and these are all the searches they're coming up with. So running the name, they're trying to find these other victims of trafficking. Some of them are just hard to find. Some of them just don't want to, have made steps to sort of hide. Because they're, scared of something or scared of potential prosecution. Even though I don't think the other victims, any of the victims who might have then gone on to traffic, I don't think the FBI have gone after them, and I think that's a good thing. You want to go for the guy at the centre that caused it all, and even the girls that go on to traffic, they were victims themselves. But yeah, it just, the whole thing sucks for them. Anyway, okay, we got more stuff. Advanced person search. Redacted. Okay, that's the middle name stuff. Oh, this is hard to read. Oh. So none of these are ticked. My account, people, phones, assets, analytics, courts, businesses, licenses, more. Results 1 to 7 of 7. Last name redacted, first name redacted, DOB redacted. Nothing is entered here. The only thing that's redacted is this, which is not even the street address. So yeah, I'm assuming that's first name, surname, that's both redacted, but there's nothing for SSN, Lex ID, street address, city, state, zip code, radius, date first seen, date last seen. None of that is there. And this is just... Okay, we got some stuff here. Coverage hub, important, security mex, learn more, click here, complimentary, get stats, search, clear form, reference, important. You last signed in on 06:23 p.m. EDT, Security Center. Further research, no image available. Reports for the record, comprehensive report, final report, contact card report, asset report, relatives, associates, business link report, relevant visual link analysis, custom comprehensive report, address report, visual identity report, summary report, neighbors, relatives, neighbors, and associates, location report, see report type. Examples, alerts to this record, set up personal alert indicators. Okay, right. So we got several searches, I think 7 altogether. So, number 1, name, redacted, age 40, gender female, view sources, SSN, Lex ID, DL, state, all redacted, address, redacted, Hendersonville, NC 287395509, Henderson County, proper current address, map, phones, redacted, current listing name, current DA, redacted, Hendersonville, NC, Feb 2000 to June 2019, no indicators. 2, name, redacted, DOB redacted, age 40, gender, female. View sources, there's around 6. SSN, redacted, SSN with a V and an SSN with a M, I think. SSN not released and reported for subject. Lex ID, DL, redacted, DL state, HI, DL redacted, DL state, Florida. Issue date, Feb 14th. Expiration date, March 22nd. Redacted, Thomasville, NC 2738C 5560, Davidson County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10012-3966, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10065-6218, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10022-6146, New York County. Redacted. Addressing or letter service, newspaper facility, map. Okay, and we got more addresses, fuck. Alright, redacted, New York 10021-4102, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10065-0120, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10065, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10065, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, New York 10022-6543, New York County. Redacted, map. Redacted, Honolulu, HI. Oh, fuck, what does that say? Ah, that's hard. Okay, I maybe 56616-2014, Honolulu County. Redacted, map. Halawa, HI 96712-0833, Honolulu County, redacted map. Halewa, HI, 987126813, Honolulu County, redacted map. Halawa, HI, this is a really bad scan, 995712, Honolulu County, redacted map. Redacted Kanakwa, HI, 96744-9171, Honolulu County map. Redacted New York, 10003-8537, New York County map. Okay, right. Lots of results for that one. Free, redacted name. Las Vegas, Nevada, 19139, redacted probable current address map. Redacted current listing name, possible non-DA, Cox, NV Telecom, Las Vegas NV, Sept 2011 to June 2019. 4. Redacted name, Alexandria, VA 22301, redacted map. Redacted possible non-DA, phone number may be disconnected, phone number and zip code combination is invalid. Verizon Virginia Inc., Alexandria, VA. 5. Redacted name, Menasha, WI, 54952, redacted map. Redacted possible non-DA, phone number may be disconnected, Ameritech, Wisconsin, Appleton, WI. 6. Redacted name. Redacted address, Olathe, KS. Fuck, is that 5 or 6? I think 66062-4803, Johnson County. Redacted map. Redacted possible non-DA, phone number may be disconnected. Southwestern Bell, Olathe, KS, March 2000 to Jan 2012. 7. Redacted name. Redacted Dallas, Texas. Oh, God, that's heavily redacted. I think that's 26241-1014 Dallas County, redacted map. Okay, results 12707, last name redacted, first name redacted, DOB redacted. Yeah, DOB will be the other redaction. Your DTPA, permissible use, court, law enforcement, or government agencies. Your GLBA, permissible use, law enforcement purposes. Your DMF, permissible use, no permissible purpose. So yeah, this is just basically searching everyone who's named that, of that age, just using everything they know, and they're searching DMV records. This looks like they're having a little difficulty trying to find these people, but if there's other victims of trafficking, they can possibly identify them from there, and they can find out who specifically was involved in this. All right, but I promise it won't just be DMV records for this stream. I did scout ahead. Okay, fancy green folder. IB-143. FedEx office. Address redacted New York 10007. Location FIDKK. Device ID -BTCO2. FedEx Express packages dropped off. Redacted 0.45 pounds S. Total pieces 1. Subject to additional charges. See FedEx service guide at fedex.com for details. All merchandise sales final. Visit us at fedex.com or call 1-800-GO-FedEx. 1-800-463-3339. November 24th, 2021. 4:34:15 p.m. We listen. Tell us how we're doing and receive a discount on your next order. fedex.com/we listen. Redemption code nothing. Thank you. Okay. 11/26/21, 1:24 p.m. Detail tracking. FedEx track another shipment. 7962718834447 at nickname. Delivered. Wow, that's a surprise. Friday, 11/26/2021 at 9:15 a.m. Delivered. Signed for by A. Alex. Get status updates. Obtain proof of delivery from New York, US to Novato, CA, US. Manage delivery. Travel history. Time zone. Local scan time. Friday, November 26th, 2021. 9:15 a.m. Novato, CA. Delivered. 8:31 a.m. San Rafael, CA. On FedEx vehicle for delivery. 8:28 a.m. San Rafael, CA. At local FedEx facility. 6:25 a.m. Oakland, CA. Departed FedEx hub. 4:59 a.m. Oakland, CA. Arrived at FedEx hub. 3:52 a.m. Indianapolis departed FedEx hub. Thursday, November 25th, 2021. 1 a.m. Indianapolis, IN. Arrived at FedEx hub. Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. And this is partly redacted here, but that's a web address here, which, yeah. Oh, I can actually. This is interesting. I should be able to copy it. Let me copy. Stick it in my Word document. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, nothing there. I just tried to paste it in Notepad. It didn't work, but it's interesting that I could potentially get the entire thing there. Very interesting. Anyway, 11:22 p.m. Newark, New Jersey. Departed FedEx Hub. 9:28 p.m. Newark, New Jersey. Arrived at FedEx Hub. 8:49 p.m. New York, New York. Left FedEx Origin Facility. 6:39 p.m. New York, New York. Picked up. 4:34 p.m. New York, New York. Picked up. Tendered at FedEx office. 2:20 p.m. Shipment information sent to FedEx. Collapse history. Shipment fax tracking number redacted. Service FedEx priority overnight. Weight 1 pounds. 0.45 kilograms. Dimensions 12 by 9 by 3 in. Delivered 2, shipping receiving, total pieces 1, total shipment weight 1 pound or 0.45 kilograms. Terms, shipper, RMA 642371. Packaging, your packaging. Special handling section, deliver weekday. Ship date, 11/24/21. Standard transit, 11/26/21 before 11:30 a.m. Actual delivery, 11/26/21 at 9:15 a.m. Okay, a FedEx delivery. What was the package? I don't know. Although we did see a dildo in one of the earlier streams, which really surprised me. But gladly it didn't surprise YouTube, so they're fine with it. Oh Jesus. Okay, FBI Philadelphia name squad redacted -C5 8th floor William J. Green Jr. FOB 600 Arch Street Philadelphia PA 19106-1675 215 418 4000 for Antonio Usoni C20. 2. So, these are all 50 US states. Albany, Albuquerque. Hang on, no, it's not. No, it's not all states. Sorry. It's all. Is it all capitals, I think? I'm not sure. Oh well, I better read it all anyway. 2. Albany, Albuquerque, Anchorage, Atlanta, Baltimore, Birmingham, Boston, Buffalo, Charlotte, Chicago, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbia, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, El Paso, FBI HQ, Honolulu, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Knoxville, Las Vegas, Little Rock, Los Angeles, Louisville, Memphis, Miami, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Mobile, Newark, New Haven, New Orleans, New York City, which is the one that's ticked, Norfolk, Oklahoma City, Omaha, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Portland, Richmond, Sacramento, St. Louis, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, San Diego, San Francisco, San Juan, Seattle, Springfield, Tampa, Washington Field. Okay, here we got Butte, OSC, Clarksburg, CJIS, Positello, PSCU, Quantico, times 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's CIRG, Training ERF-OTD, Lab, Savannah, OSC, Winchester, RMD. This is Allentown, RA, Fort Washington, RA, Harrisburg, RA, Newtown Square, RA, Philadelphia Regional Computer Forensic Lab, PHR-CFL, Scranton, RA, South Jersey, RA, State College, RA, Williamsport, RA, via FBI HQ, Abu Dhabi, Abuja, Accra, Addis Ababa, Amman, Ankara, Astana, Athens, Baghdad, Bangkok, Beijing, Berlin, Bern, Bogota, Brasilia, Bridgetown, Brussels, Bucharest, Budapest, Buenos Aires, Cairo, Canberra, Copenhagen, Dakar, Doha, Hong Kong, Islamabad, Jakarta, Kabul, Kuala Lumpur, Kiev, London, Madrid, Manila, Mexico City, Moscow, Muscat, Nairobi, New Delhi, Ottawa, Panama City, Paris, Phnom Penh, Prague, Pretoria, Rabat, Riga, Radea, Rome, San Salvador, Sanaa, Santiago, Santo Domingo, Sarajevo, Seoul, Singapore, Sofia, Tbilisi, Tel Aviv, The Hague, Tokyo, Tunis, Vienna, Warsaw. Okay, that's random. Classification level, check 1. Unclassified, not sensitive. Okay, and there was also sensitive but unclassified, confidential and secret. Attention, redacted to C20. Okay, endless response. Dr. TN 000000, redacted. Text, nothing there. Name, redacted, redacted. Address, redacted. Doctor license number, redacted. Birth date, redacted. Live class, D. License and D. That is a bunch of stars. SOC, redacted. Previous class, stars. PRM class, nothing there. Lick issue date 201-80305. Lick expiration date 202-60305. Organ donor, yes. Eyes, BL. Is that blue, black? You know, it could be blue or black. So eyes, BL. Hair, BR. Sex, F. Race, W. Height 5'7". In weight 150. Non-CDL status valid. Non-CDL eligibility date 00000000. CDL status none. CLD eligibility date 00000000. Permit status none. Gun permit status none. Currently revoked in or TN for DUI. Nope. DUI on after 19970101. No. Total non-CDL Rex 0. Total CDL Rex 0. Lick restrictions. Corrective lenses. PRM issue date 00000000. PRM expiration date 00000000. PR mend 5 stars. Permit restriction none. Redacted image format image JPEG. Okay, looks like we might have some 4 redacted pages here. So redacted page 1, 2, 3. 3 fully redacted pages there. I mean, it saves me time in the rating, but let's be honest, I've still got quite a lot to do. And it's going to be even harder than this. Court agency, TN01-90100, Metropolitan Nashville PD. Subject's name, redacted. Charge, 1. Okay, yeah, charge number, charge tracking number, charge literal, charge description, count, severity, disposition, all redacted. Index of agencies, agency Metropolitan Nashville PD, TN01-90100, and that's repeated once and twice, end of record. Okay, more redacted pages. 1 redacted page, 2 redacted page, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 fully redacted pages there, and that's the end of the file. There's a lot of redactions in this thing. I mean, I'd love to read it all. But yeah, that does technically make my job easier, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to read stuff. So, yeah, a bunch of redacted pages again, unfortunately. Okay. Item was not scanned. Description. Refresh eye drops. Okay. Official.lab instructions revised July 27, 2020. Okay, this is Canada. January 2017. I'm not going to read all the dates. January 2nd. Outbound unknown. Inbound TEB. 13th. Outbound TEB. Inbound TIST. T-I-S-T. 19th. Outbound TIST. Inbound TEB. 27th. Outbound PBI. Inbound TIST. 29th. Outbound TIST. Inbound TEB. No notes here. This might be useful. Airport codes. TEB. Teterboro, New Jersey. TIST. U.S. Virgin Island. PBI. West Palm Beach, Florida. So I'm assuming that's... this is one of Epstein's calendars. Because he had a... obviously, Little St. James Island. Epstein Island is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. West Palm Beach, Florida. He did have a property there as well. New Jersey, I'm not sure what his property would be. I do know from my history working in international money transfer, a lot of people in New York like to put their address in New Jersey to get around sanctions. That might be why. But then again, why would you necessarily put it on a, put it on a calendar? Unless New Jersey is like the closest airport that he uses. I don't know. I think the New York does have an airport of its own. Anyway, February 2017. From the 6th to the 8th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. On the 9th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. Maybe this details where Epstein was on these dates. And this is in 2017. Inbound TEB, outbound TEB, inbound France. That's from the 16th to the 23rd. 24th, outbound France, inbound TEB. Okay. March, on the 7th of March, inbound Tist, inbound St. Bartholomew. Outbound Tist, inbound British VI, outbound St. Bartholomew, inbound Tist on the 8th. On 10th, outbound Tist, inbound St. Barnaby, outbound Street, Bartholomew, inbound Tist. 11th, outbound Tist, inbound KBAF. 25th, outbound Tist, inbound Teb. 30th to 31st, outbound Teb, inbound France. This might continue on to the next month. Yep, carries on April 1st to 5th. 6th, outbound Monaco. Oh, sorry, Morocco, not Monaco. Inbound Kisp. 8th, outbound Teb, inbound Tist. 12th, outbound Tist, inbound Kisp. Okay, Kisp is Long Island, New York in this case. 16th, outbound Tist, inbound PPI. 23rd, outbound Teb, inbound Tist. 30th, outbound Tist, inbound Kisp. May, from the 11th to 16th, outbound Teb, inbound France. 17th, outbound France, inbound Kisp. 20th, outbound Kisp, inbound Tist. 29th, outbound Tist, inbound Teb. Yeah, as I say, I've already mentioned the airport codes here. That's where I'm assuming this is Epstein's itinerary. We don't know anything else. We just know like which one of his properties he's at. June 2017, only on the 25th, outbound Tist, inbound PBI. July 1st and 2nd, outbound Teb, inbound unknown. Okay. 11th, outbound France, inbound Teb. 16th, outbound PBI, inbound unknown. 20, outbound unknown, inbound Teb. So they don't know where he was for this week. So what was he doing? All right, August. On the 2nd, outbound Tist, inbound Teb. 29th, outbound unknown, inbound Teb. Interesting. September 2017, from the 2nd to the 12th, outbound Teb, inbound France. 13th, outbound France, inbound Kisp. October 17th, outbound Tist, inbound Kisp. 9th to the 19th, outbound Teb, inbound France. 20th, outbound France, inbound Teb. Okay, November. Friday 3rd, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. 7th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. Outbound Tist, inbound Teb. Okay. So he's flying over from multiple airports there. 26th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. Outbound Tist, inbound Teb. So yeah. Teterboro, New Jersey. Tist, US Virgin Island. PBI, West Palm Beach, Florida. December 2017. 5th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. 8th to the 11th, outbound Teb, inbound France. 12th, outbound France, inbound Teb. 20th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. Outbound Tist, inbound PBI. Now we're moving on to January 2018. 7th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. Outbound Tist, inbound Teb. 16th, outbound PBI, inbound Tist. Outbound Tist, inbound Teb. 21st, outbound Teb, inbound France. 27th, outbound Canada, inbound Teb. February 2018. Outbound PBI, inbound Tist, inbound PBI. 21st, outbound KFXC, which is Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that stands for. Inbound Tist, outbound, and then outbound Tist, inbound Teb. So yeah, they have a good idea of where Epstein was when he was, yeah. This is like just where Epstein was. So that's very good evidence there. Saturday, 3rd, outbound PBI, inbound Tist, inbound Teb. 8th to the 12th, outbound Teb, inbound France. 13, outbound France, inbound Teb. 27th, outbound Tist, inbound PBI. 31st of March, outbound Teb, inbound France. And that goes on 1st of April to the 8th of April. 9th, outbound France, inbound Teb. 20th of April, outbound PBI, inbound Tist, inbound Teb. 27th, outbound Teb, inbound Tist, inbound PBI. May 2018, 13th to the 21st, he was outbound Teb, inbound France. 22nd, outbound France, inbound Kisp. Outbound Tist, inbound PBI. So it's interesting, he goes to France a lot, but I don't think we haven't covered that much evidence from France itself. It will be interesting to see how and if the French authorities are cooperating. June 2018. Outbound PBI, inbound Tist, inbound Kisp. 15th, outbound test, inbound PBI. And the 20th to 26th, outbound TEB, inbound France. 27th, outbound France, inbound TEB. July 2018, 7th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 10th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. 21st to 28th, outbound TEB, inbound France. 29th, outbound France, inbound TEB. Okay, August 2018. 5th, outbound PBI, inbound test. 6th, outbound test, inbound TEB. 14th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 15th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. 25th, outbound TEB, inbound TIST. 29th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. September, 6th to the 12th, outbound TEB, inbound France. 13th, outbound France, inbound TEB. 20th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 20th and 21st for that. 22nd, inbound TIST, inbound TEB. 30th, outbound TEB, inbound France. October 2018. 10th and 11th. Oh no. Yeah, it's both. 10th and 11th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 28th to 29th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 30th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. November 2018. Friday the 2nd to the 10th, outbound TEB, inbound France. 11th, outbound France, inbound TEB. 24th, outbound KBCT, inbound TIST. And that's the same for the 25th as well. 28th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. KBCT Boca Raton is Florida. December 2018. Only on the 14th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. Okay, January 2019. 6th, outbound KBCT, inbound TIST. 8th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. 16th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. 22nd to 29th, outbound PBI, inbound France. 30th, outbound France, inbound TEB. Yep, and that's it. February 2019, 8th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. 19th, outbound TIST, inbound DOM rep. Outbound DOM rep, inbound PBI. Okay, that's something new. DOM rep is probably the Dominican Republic. March 2019, 14th, outbound PBI, inbound TIST. 15th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. 19th to the 31st, at least, outbound TEB, inbound France. This might continue on. This continues on to April the 1st. April the 2nd, outbound France, inbound TEB. 14th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. 19th to the 27th, outbound TEB, inbound France, inbound TEB on the 28th. May 2019, 5th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. 18th, outbound TIST, inbound PBI. June 2019, 11th to 14th, outbound TIST, inbound TEB. Oh no, outbound TIST, inbound TEB, and then it's 14th, outbound TEB, inbound France. This is all linked together for some reason. Okay, and that's the end of that file. Big calendar. I'm assuming that's copying Epstein's movements there. Okay, this is a redacted page. Redacted. Okay. Right. Oh boy. Oh boy, we've got some names. So, this is a redacted heading. This could be the list of a flight list or something, or a list of those in the quorum. Anyway, attendance list, check in. This is blank. Victim full name sought. Okay, and guest name. So a lot of this is redacted. These are all victims. I can't necessarily click on them. Guest name. So we have victim redacted, victim redacted. Victim pending, victim attorney, victim redacted, attorney, victim, redacted, victim, attorney, victim, redacted, attorney. So, some of these redactions are very interesting. It could be details of, like, how they're denying they're a victim, or they might have more information. Put it this way, they're not going to put any perpetrators. If this is an attendance list for, like, the FBI talking to a bunch of people at once, or something like that, they're not going to have any perpetrators there. They're just going to be victims and attorneys. I suspect these are flavors in between. But yeah, that's very interesting. And contact information. Okay. Contact information, victim full name. All these victims have been redacted, and all of these victims, victim. But these are redacted. Redacted. I'm assuming like a victim, but with some additional information behind it. Although, All of these, well, most of these are highlighted in green. This one's victim pending is red. Victim pending is a bad thing. Maybe it just means they haven't sorted out details yet of who this person is. Green could be like extra confirmation or something. I don't know. Okay, right, we're doing this again. Contact information. All victim full names are redacted. Guest name, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 redactions. This one has got multiple words. We've seen victim pending before. Victim cancelled, victim cancelled, victim cancelled. So 3 of these people probably are just no shows, or they just said, I don't want to come or I can't come. Email address, phone number, address, and address 1, address 2, all redacted for, I would say, obvious reasons, because they're all victims or returnees, so they do not deserve the ire of the internet. Anyway, city, state, zip. Okay, Las Vegas, NV, 89135. Calabasas, CA, 91302. Asheville, NC, 28803. Fletcher, NC, 28732. Altadena, CA, 91001. Vero Beach, FL, 32962. And the same again there. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33301. North Palm Beach, Florida, 33408 times 2. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33301. West Palm Beach, Florida, 33409. Royal Palm Beach, Florida, 33411. Oakland Park, Florida, 33311. Phoenix, Arizona, 85014. New York, New York, 10002. West Palm Beach, Florida, 33412. And West Palm Beach, Florida, 33409. Patch Hog? New York, 11772. New York, New York, 10028. Loxahatchee, Florida, 33470. Salt Lake City, Utah, 84108. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33316. Palm Springs, Florida, 33461. Okay. Guest breakdown. Victims, 10. Support person. Support person is for support people for the victims. That's why they're labelled in green. Not necessarily involved with people, but not necessarily involved in the case, but more moral support for some of the victims. So that sort of gives some context there. That's why the redactions are there. Although I think it could be like the nature of redaction is, this is his father, this is her husband, this is her sister. Any one of those, but they don't want to sort of reveal the familial ties or the how they're related or how they're supporting the victim. But yeah, they're all supporters. Attorneys 6, again to support the victims as well. Attorneys all redacted representing 1, 3, and 1, representing 4, 1, 1. Okay. Staff breakdown: ODAG 2, Agents 1, TFO 1, VS 4, VSD HQ 2, Therapist 1, staff total 11. So 20 guests total, staff total 11, total attending 31. Our date 11/11 at 4 p.m. And here, travel, mileage reimbursement 4, ground transport RIM 15, air 9, lodging 7, arrangements made 9 for air and 7 made. So they've arranged air and lodging. They haven't dealt with the mileage or ground transport RIM. Costs $5,164.30. And lodging costs 0. Presumably they just put them up in their own building or something. So total $5,164.30. So that's the cost of just putting up a couple of victims just to bring them in and question them, presumably. Guests from Florida 12, Utah 1, New York 2, CA 2, AS 1, NV 1, NC 2. Total of 21. And here we have Here we have a few reasons why there were some no-shows. So, redacted, and support, redacted. So, 1, cancelled, 11/11 with a low-grade fever, couldn't board flight. She was ill. Cancelled, didn't feel comfortable driving from Tampa. Maybe it was a long journey for them. RSVP, yes, on 11/11, and same with this one here, but they still no-showed. So, that could be for any reason, really. Travel arrangements, victim full name, guest full name, mode of transportation, airport station of origin, locator number, origin, airport, date. That's what we're working from along the top. So, victim full name redacted, mode of transportation, mileage reimbursement, airport station of origin, not available. So, redacted, air, they're from New York, JFK, locator number redacted. Yeah, all these locator numbers are redacted, so I'm just going to say they're all redacted there. I'm going to skip past that. Origin, airport, New York, 11 November. Redacted, air, Bangor, ME, redacted, Bangor, ME, 11 Nov. Redacted, mileage reimbursement, airport station of origin, not available. Redacted, mode of transportation, air, Asheville, NC, redacted, Asheville, NC, 10th November. It's the same for this person as well, although this person is redacted, and then redacted female. This could be, like, just accompanying this person here. So, redacted, mode of transportation, air, originating from Long Island, New York, ISP, MacArthur Airport. Redacted, iSlip, NY, 11th Nov. Redacted. Okay, so these two are pretty much the same. Redacted. Mode of transportation, air. Airport station of origin, Las Vegas, NV, McCarran. Locator numbers are redacted, Las Vegas, NV, 11th of Nov. Redacted, mileage reimbursement, NA. Redacted, air. Phoenix, Sky Harbor. Redacted, Phoenix, Arizona, 11th of Nov. Redacted, air, New York, JFK, redacted, New York, 11th Nov, redacted, mileage reimbursement, NA. Okay, so that's just, details of the reimbursements for victims that they're bringing in. Okay, so across the top we've got departing time, arrival time, airport date, flight home time, home arrival time, hotel name, hotel conf, check-in and check-out. Alright, this is going to be a mouthful. 3:07 p.m., 5:59 p.m., Fort Lauderdale or something like that? I don't know. Date, 13th Nov, 4:30 p.m., 7:10 p.m., that's all crossed out. Residence, 990-58633, 11th Nov, checking out, 13th Nov. Departing time, 12:40 p.m., arrival time, 6:59 p.m. Fort Laud. 13th Nov, 1:28 p.m., 7:07 p.m. Hotel name, residence, 990-58928, 11th Nov, 13th Nov. Checking in and checking out days. Then it's 5:20 p.m., 9:40 p.m. Fort Laud, 14th Nov, 12:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m. residence, 9905-9426, Nov 20, 13th Nov. 5:20 p.m., 9:40 p.m. Fort Laud, 14th Nov, 12:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m. residence, Inn by Marriott, I'm assuming, November 20th, 13th Nov. So it's interesting, you don't seem to be bringing these people in. I mean, they seem to be bringing in some of these people at the same time, but others, they're sort of staggering them. 8:50 a.m., 5 p.m. Fort Laud, 13th Nov, 10 a.m., 4:39 p.m. residence, 9905-9576, 11th Nov, 13th Nov, 3:42 p.m., 11:03 p.m. Fort Laud, 13th Nov, 5:16 p.m. And this is for both. Residence, 99059-735, 11th Nov, 13th Nov. Yeah, they're putting them in the same place. It's the Residence Inn by Marriott, obviously. Okay, and this is a repeat here. 8:13 a.m., 4:25 p.m. Fort Laud, 13th Nov, 5:16 p.m., 10:48 p.m. Residence, 990-59234, 11th Nov, 13th Nov. 12 p.m. 2:57 p.m. Fort Laud, 13th Nov, 4:30 p.m., 7:10 p.m. Residence Inn by Marriott, 11th Nov, 13th Nov. This one is Residence 995-14330, 11th Nov, 12th Nov. Okay, notes. Ms. Redacted decided to book her flight to Dubai from Miami and would like a one-way ticket to Miami. Flight cost is from original reservation. Okay. So yeah, but she's going on a holiday after doing that shit. That's fair enough. I can agree with that. Although I wouldn't never go to Dubai. Never go there. Redacted confirms she will cover the cost for the 2 extra nights. Redacted confirms she will cover the cost for the 2 extra nights. 11:11 missed flight due to low-grade fever. 11:10 cancelled due to tropical storm Irma. Sat the 14 flight out. Conf number reused from redacted. Okay, support staff. Names are all redacted. apart from this last one, which is a Victim Services Coordinator. Role, Victim Specialist, Special Agent, TFO, NYPD. Victim Specialists, times 3. Office, ODAG, FBI VSD, times 2. FBI NY, times 3. FBI MM, times 3. Cell, redacted, personal, redacted. So, arrival date, 11th Nov, 10th Nov, 10th Nov, 10th Nov, 11th Nov, 11th Nov. Arrival time, 12 p.m., 8:30 p.m., 4 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 a.m. Hotel stay, yes, all. Departure date, 12th, 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 and 13th of November. Departure time, 7 p.m., and this one was 8 p.m. Okay. FBI, Victim Specialist, Therapist, Attorney, Survivor, Guest. I'm assuming these are all like name badges or something which have been redacted. That's fine. Exemption certificate to be used by federal employees. No date, no selling dealer's name, no selling dealer's address. I, the undersigned, am an employee of the federal agency identified below. The purchase of lease of tangible personal property or services, or the rental of living quarters or sleeping accommodations on or after nothing there, dates from the business identified above is in pursuant of my employer's affairs. The government of the United States either will pay the seller directly or will provide reimbursement to the employee for the actual cost of the purchase or lease of tangible personal property, services or living quarters or sleeping accommodations made on this date. Under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have read the foregoing and the facts stated in it are true. No signature of employee, no name of federal agency, no address of federal agency. I'm assuming this is a template. This certificate may not be used to make exempt purchases or leases of tangible personal property or services or rental of living accommodations for the personal use of any individual employed by a United States governmental agency. Proper identification is required before the certificate may be accepted by the seller. Florida Administrative Code Rule 12A-1.0384C. And that's the end of that file. We're getting there. Where are my cats? Oh, there's Clara. Clara's around. Dexter is also around. He's moved from his spot. If I show you, he was sat right there next to the door. He was keeping an eye on me, but from the furthest available spot. I think I don't know if he's unhappy with me or something. He should be. He should be perfectly happy. There was yeah, I don't know. He's a little bit strange. He will sometimes come to cuddle, but he prefers to sort of keep his own distance and observe before coming after me. So Dexter was well named, but Clara is very clingy, I think, and she is right underneath the dragon poster on a bed on the floor, and she's sleeping at the moment. So yeah, I'm not gonna pester them, not while they're being quiet. Anyway, let's carry on. Epstein. Law offices of Lombardine and Nektalov, redacted, Richmond Hill, New York 11419, Midland NY 117, IS Jewel 2020, PM5L, Forever USA, yes, 622, redacted, United States Attorney's Office, the Silvio J. Moller Building, redacted, New York 10007, attention redacted, Acting United States Attorney, 10007-170101. Is that Lombardino and Nektalov, attorneys at law? Redacted, Richmond Hill, New York 11419. Anthony V. Lombardino Esquire, Boris R. Nektalov Esquire. Facts redacted. July 17, 2020, United States Attorney's Office, the Silvio J. Moller Building, redacted, New York 10007. Attention, redacted, Acting United States Attorney, R.E. Richard Taus, 91A1040. Dear Miss, redacted. Please be advised that I have represented Richard Taus, who is currently an inmate at Clinton Correctional Facility. By way of background, Richard Taus is a former special agent with the FBI and a former decorated lieutenant colonel and helicopter pilot who served our country with honor and distinction during the Vietnam War. Richard Taus has informed me that he believes he possesses important information relative to the death of Jeffrey Epstein, along with information regarding Ghislaine Maxwell, and he possesses relevant information to an individual named J. Doe, really, who visited him while an inmate in prison. I am respectfully requesting, as a former Assistant United States Attorney and a present practicing attorney, that you utilize your good office to interview Richard Taus, who seeks to lend you assistance in this investigation. It is my respectful opinion that Robert possesses important and vital information that can assist in the interest of justice. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Respectfully submitted, Anthony V. Lombardino. Ooh, that's very interesting. So, Richard House is an inmate and former special agent with FBI and former decorated lieutenant colonel. What the fuck did he do if he's ending up in prison? Well, this is a letter from a lawyer saying that he may have information. Now, was he Epstein's cellmate or something like that? Possibly. Ooh, new chat. Well, first of all, thank you, Rexman, saying howdy. Howdy, partner, indeed. Tangle Zest. I'm getting more information by listening to you than I would by reading it myself. I have an appointment, so I must go. I'll come back and listen to the recording. If you read it, then I'll listen. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Like, all of these videos are going to be saved as VODs anyway, so people can go back to them and reference them. And more importantly, I can reference the fact that I'm reading the entire Epstein Files if people think I'm full of shit. Which, let's be honest, happens a lot. Anyway, but yes. Who is Richard Taus? Let me see if I can quick Google. That's interesting. No particular mention of this Richard Taus. Unless it's censored. Unless it's part of the censorship. Yeah. Okay. Nothing on the internet has mentioned anything about Richard Taus. I would be very interested to know what this is. Now, I'd normally say it's, is bullshit from a random inmate to get a lesser sentence, but this is an intelligent person, you would think. A former lieutenant colonel, member of the FBI, that kind of stuff. So, it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. Anyway, let's continue. That's the end of that file. CSAM not scanned. 7 images. Okay, this is the next file, and next numbered file anyway. I don't think there's been any censorship. CSAM not scanned. 7 images. Official.lab instructions revised March 10th, 2025. That's weirdly redacted. MM15. Redacted MM03. And this is redacted as well, MM15, Government Exhibit A. Okay, so if this is being portrayed in court, if this has anything to do with the previous file, maybe this is what Richard Taus had to post. Is it Richard or Robert Taus? I forget. No, it is Richard Taus. Right, okay. Let's move on. Let's carry on. Alright, media, redacted, cell redacted, redacted, cell redacted, Newark division. Okay. Item was not scanned, description, CDs, 8. Official.lab instructions, revised July 27, 2020. 72 MM113327, ID 5, 102909, redacted. 72 MM113327, ID 6, 102809, redacted. 72 MM113327, ID 3, 11209, redacted. 72 MM113327, ID 4, 11309, redacted. 72 MM113327, ID 1, 11309, redacted. Agency FBI, Office MM, date 11309, case number 72 MM113327, DVD number 1D2. And this is a copy, original copy. Video.avi, ticked. There was also options for image, MJPEG, WAV file. Security classification, comment agent, nothing there. Okay, that's one's hard to read. 21E-MM-10806, I think that says. And it's 131 copy. 31E-MM-10806-2, 72 MM-113327. And that's the end of that file there. Okay. Scene to go. Instructions for Pharaoh's scene. Point cloud interactive. You must retain the entire folder webshare/scene2go if transferred off of external hard drive, thumb drive, or DVD/CD. This is a self-executable package, so the entire contents of the folder need to stay together. Locate and open the webshare scene2go folder. If using a PC, double-click on Start Scene2go on Windows. If using a Mac, double-click on Start Scene2go on Mac.command. Once opened, this is your home page. Click on the image to open the job. It may or may not populate with a map view shown on the right. The toggle on map click the global icon in the upper right corner. Location will only be accurate if GPS coordinates were collected and retained in scan data. Before selecting a scan, set up your measuring and viewing preferences. Click once on Settings, located on the right side navigation bar. Click once on General. Select the units you prefer, normally imperial inches or foot, and foot 2. Click once on OK. Also under Settings, click once on Scan View. Under Visibility, check Scan Position, limit visibility to. This reduces the number of scan positions in your view, can clutter, to only the ones closest to you. You can navigate from one scan position to another by clicking on each of the visible scan position markers. You can always return to this setting to make adjustments. Good starting settings. Large exterior scene, 100-150 foot. Small exterior or structure interiors, 25 to 35 feet. Vehicle center, 15 feet. Why the fuck do we have random instructions in these files? Under Visibility, you will also have the option to control the viewing of scan names, annotations, and other detail items. Under Panorama Image, you have the option to combine color and intensity. This makes your image views a hybrid of your color planar image and black-white scan point data. Click OK to return to the loaded job. Return to Overview Map using the right column to navigate. Click on the scan markers to choose scan viewing options. Panorama View, Spherical Photo, 3D View, Point Cloud, Properties, Data Details. Once in a panorama or 3D view, you can hop between scan position, rotate, and zoom using your mouse. Panorama View, Point Cloud Properties. Okay. To pull a measurement, after selecting a scan position marker, select Panorama, Photo. Once inside the spherical image, click once on the measure distance located in the right side navigation bar. Select a point to begin the measurement and a point to end the measurement. Then click once on the OK button at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. The distance should appear annotated on the measured line. To clear, click once on Cancel. This measurement will be stored in your project content. The gear in the lower left corner has more in-depth tools. The Color Wheel tool allows you to shift between your color image and black-white scan data points. To navigate between scans, when in a scan view, you will see other scan locations within your visibility distance. After selecting a scan position marker, it becomes highlighted. You can select to view the panorama, spherical photo, 3D, point cloud, scan properties, or overview map. Once in a view, you can use the box in the upper right corner to switch between 2D and 3D. Also under project content in the right navigation column, you can view a list of all scans within the project and select viewing options from the drop-down menu. This is a great tool if you are having difficulty finding a specific scan. Click once on Scan Properties and you can view the planar image and additional recorded data from the raw scan. You are brought to the same screen if you select Scan Properties of a scan icon while in a view. Click once on Overview Map in the drop-down and that scan position will be highlighted in the Overview Map. Contact the FBI Laboratory/Operations Projects Unit at any time if you have additional questions. Redacted. TDPP Supervisor, and we've got several Ps. Redacted Office, Redacted Cell, times 1, 2, 3, with redacted names along the top as well. Okay, I originally wondered if that was like an operation manual that on Epstein's end. Turns out this is an FBI operations manual on how to try about with files. Jolly good. Okay, so this is a leaflet. I'm going to read it from the title area. Palm Beach County, Florida. Palm Beach County Public Safety Department Victim Services Division. Victim Services and Certified Rape Crisis Center Therapy Services, servicing victim of violent crimes. Vision. Justice for all crime victims. Mission statement. With compassion and respect, we assist victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, homicide, and other violent crimes through crisis response, advocacy, therapy, and community awareness. Palm Beach County Victim Services is a certified rape crisis center that provides therapy services to all crime victims in Palm Beach County, regardless of the victim's race, sex, color, religion, national origin, disability, sexual orientation, marital status, familial status, or gender identity or expression. Start by believing. Start by believing a public awareness campaign to change the way we respond to sexual violence in our community. One response at a time. Your reaction makes a difference. When someone tells you they've been raped, there's a simple response. Start by believing. And this will be the back of the leaflet. Palm Beach County Public Safety Department Victim Services Division, www.pbcgov.com/public safety/victim services. 24/7 sexual assault violent crime helpline 561-833-7273, toll free 866-891-7273. Main Courthouse, 205 North Dixie Highway, Suite 5, 1100, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401, 561-355-2418, option 3. TTY 561-233-2595. Victim Services SART Center, 2410 North Australian Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33407, 561-625-2561, option 1. TTY 561-624-6520. North County Courthouse, 3188 PGA Boulevard, Suite 1436, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, 33410, 561-355-2418, option 3. TTY 561-624-6643. South County Courthouse, 200 West Atlantic Avenue, Suite 1E301, Delray Beach, Florida, 33444. 561-274-1500, TTY 561-274-1015. West County Glaze Courthouse, 2976 State Road, 15 2nd floor, Belglade, Florida, 33430, 561-996-4871, TTY 561-992-1113. Like us on Facebook, PBC Victim Services. Services are funded through Palm Beach County Board of County Commissions with grants from the Office of the Attorney General and Florida Council Against Sexual Violence. Palm Beach County, Florida. Palm Beach County Board of County Commissions. This is, and that was, okay, Rev, I think, May 2019, I think that says. Now, I think we have a back of the leaflet there, possibly, so let's have a look at that. Yeah. Okay, these are other parts of the leaflet, so this is like one side of a six-sided thing. Maybe it's got more bits in it, because there's more than just 2 pages here. Let's have a look. So I'm going to go from the left to the right now. Okay. I'm mirrored, so it's from the left to the right. That's what I mean. Going from here. Have you been a victim of a crime? Do you experience any of the following? Inability to fall or stay asleep, feeling anxious or depressed, having outbursts of anger, inability to concentrate, feeling emotionally numb, loss of interest in the things you used to enjoy, painful memories of the traumatic event, bad dreams about the traumatic event, flashbacks or a sense of reliving the events, racing thoughts, physiological stress response to the reminders of the event, pounding heart, rapid breathing, nausea, muscle tension, sweating. Palm Beach County provides equality of services and care to everyone, regardless of people's age, disability, gender identity, race, religion, or belief, or sexual orientation. Services provided. Free services include individual therapy for children and adult support groups. If you are a crime victim or have been a victim of crime in the past and are considering therapy, we welcome your call. Therapists are available for appointments Monday through Friday, excluding legal holidays. Therapists will help you identify trauma reactions, explore the impact that trauma has on your daily life, reduce the intensity of negative emotional responses and symptoms, learn about common trauma reactions and phases in healing. Feel hopeful and positive regarding the future. Develop coping mechanisms to utilize when thinking or talking about the crime. Experience a reduction of trauma symptoms. Return to work or school. Explore the impact on current and future relationships. Therapy for children and teenagers. Assessment and treatment for child victims of crime. Therapeutic interventions that teach child safety. Play therapy. Assistance for parents during this difficult time. Signs of trauma in children. Sadness. The child may feel despondent or hopeless. The child may cry easily or withdraw or isolate from others. Loss of interest in activities. The child may complain of feeling bored or reject offers to participate in activities they have previously enjoyed. Anxiety. The child may become anxious and tense and feel panic. Turmoil. The child may feel worried and irritable. The child may lash out in anger, resulting from the distress he or she is feeling. Regression. The child may revert to acting like a baby, bedwetting, clinging, and demanding extra care. Vision, justice for all crime victims. Mission statement. With compassion and respect, we assist victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, homicide, and other violent crimes through crisis response, advocacy, therapy, and community awareness. Florida Statute 960 provides guidelines for fair treatment and specific rights for victims in the criminal justice system. Some of these include the following. Office of Attorney General Crime Victim Compensation when applicable. To be informed, present, and heard when relevant at all crucial stages of criminal or juvenile proceedings to the extent that right does not interfere with the constitutional rights of the accused. To be provided information concerning services available including victim compensation, community treatment programs, crisis intervention services, counseling, and social services. To a prompt and timely disposition of the case to the extent that this right does not interfere with the constitutional rights of the accused. To have your property returned to you as soon as possible after the investigation and or prosecution is completed, unless there is a compelling reason for its retention. Have a victim advocate present during depositions of the victim. Request for specific crimes and exemption prohibiting the disclosure of information to the public which reveals your identification. Palm Beach County Public Safety Department Victim Services Division, www.pbcgov.com/public-safety/victim services. Jesus. "24/7 Sexual Assault Violent Crime Helpline, Helpline 561-833-7273, toll-free 866-891-7273. These ones we've had before. Oh, fuck it, I'll do it again. Main Courthouse, 205 North Dixie Highway, Suite 5, 1100, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401, 561-533-2418, option 3. TTY 561-233-2595. Victim Services SART Center, 2410 North Australian Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33407, 561-625-2568, option 1, TTY 561-624-6520. North County Courthouse, 3188 PGA Boulevard, Suite 1436, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, 33410, 561-355-2418, option 3, TTY 561-624-6643. South County Courthouse, 200 West Atlantic Avenue, Suite 1E 301, Delray Beach, Florida, 33444. 561-274-1500, TTY 561-274-1015. West County Glades Courthouse, 2976, State Road 15, 2nd floor, Belle Glade, Florida, 33430. 561-996-4871, TTY 561-992-1113. Services are provided to all crime victims in Palm Beach County, regardless of the victim's race, sex, color, religion, national origin, disability, age, sexual orientation, marital status, or gender identity or expression. Services are funded through Palm Beach County Board of County Commissioners, with grants from the Office of the Attorney General and Florida Council Against Sexual Violence. Palm Beach County Board of County Communications, like us on Facebook, PBC Victim Services. Okay, and this is obviously the front page of the leaflet. Palm Beach County Public Safety Department Victim Services Division, Victim Services and Certified Rape Crisis Center serving victims of violent crimes. Okay, and we've got another one. And I think we've done a few of these before. Never mind. Services provided. Professional training and community presentations are also available. Information about victims' rights, 24-hour crisis responses to hospitals, law enforcement agencies and crime scenes. Sexual assault nurse examiner, SANE, and a forensic exam site, the Butterfly House. Sexual assault response team, SART, to provide victim-centered assistance. Criminal justice advocacy and court accompaniment. Assistance with filing state crime victim compensation applications and restraining orders. Individual therapy and support groups. Information and referral to community resources, including shelters and legal aid. Palm Beach County provides equality of services and care to everyone, regardless of people's age, disability, gender, gender identity, race, religion, or belief, or sexual orientation. Hello, Clara. Would you like to come help me read this? There's a good girl. There's a good girl. Come up here. Come up here, and I can actually turn the webcam so they can see you. There's a good girl. Such a good girl. When my cats aren't being a pair of gremlins, they are a pair of angels. There we are. There's a good girl. Stay there. Stay there. Let me see if I can turn the webcam around so they can see you. They cannot. Come on. Stand up. There we go. They could sort of see you there. Well, I'll turn that back because you're lying down on the blanket. You look like you're ready to go somewhere else. So if you see a tuft of fur just come across her, that's the tip of her tail. She is not as big as my monitor yet, but, you know, judging by the way I feed them, they hopefully will be soon. There's a good girl. There you go. It's good to have you when I'm reading some horrible shit. Okay. Sexual assault. Sexual assault is a violent crime including rape, incest, sexual harassment, or any other sexual contact without consent. Per Florida Statute 90.5035, a victim of sexual violence who consults a sexual assault counselor at a rape crisis center has the right to confidentiality of information shared with the counselor. No one except the victim can compel the sexual assault counselor to reveal information about their communications. Only the victim can waive... Get down, Clara. God damn it, cat. No, you can't drink out of that. That's not good for cats. There was currently a cat in the way. I'm sure she'll pass by at some point. There you go. There you go. You stay there. That's fine. You just stay there. Only the victim can waive the privilege, and this must be done in writing. If rape victims are not sure whether to report to law enforcement, victim advocates will assist them through their decision-making process, respecting whatever choices are made. Certified rape crisis victim advocates will provide crisis intervention and personal advocacy, accompaniment during forensic rape exams at the Butterfly House. Don't knock my mic, cat. Leave that alone. No, leave that alone. No, I should say because that just reminded me of something. Sorry, I've not been streaming as much this week. I'm not going to be able to stream much next week. I've got family over for a funeral. My grandfather passed earlier this year. You know, it's all good. You know, we're all fine. It's just we've got to go through that process, and because he lived local to my parents, most people are staying with them. But because I live close to my parents, I'm also getting a few guests. So that's what I've been doing. I've been getting ready for guests, getting everything sorted. So yeah, that's basically just what's happened. Can you leave things alone, cat? Hello, Dexter. You're normally the good cat. Would you like to come along? Come and say hi, Dexter. All right. Well, Clara's there. Yeah, so I won't be able to do it as much next week. Earliest I can probably do it is Thursday. Possibly Wednesday. It's more likely Thursday, I think. Oh, God, where am I? Certified rape crisis victim advocates will provide crisis intervention and personal advocacy. Accompaniment during forensic rape exams at the Butterfly House and other medical facilities. Oh yeah, coordination of follow-up medical care, therapy and referrals, criminal justice advocacy, and court accompaniment. Start by believing. Start by believing. A public awareness campaign to change the way we respond to sexual violence in our community, one response at a time. Your reaction makes the difference. When someone tells you they've been raped, there's a simple response. Start by believing. Domestic assault. Domestic assault involves power and control tactics such as physical violence, emotional abuse, sexual violence, economic abuse, and isolation. Victim advocates will provide crisis intervention, safety planning, assistance with finding restraining orders, safe shelter referrals, personal and legal advocacy during criminal justice proceedings, homicide and other violent crimes. Homicide and other violent crimes shatter the lives of injured victims and survivors, causing severe emotional trauma and grief. Victim advocates will provide crisis intervention and emotional support for victims and surviving family members, assistance with filing crime victim compensation for medical expenses, funeral costs, and loss of support. Court accompaniment. Hello again, Clara. Get out the way, cat. Thank you. Referrals for individual therapy, support groups, and community assistance. Help is available. Don't drink that. That is not for cats. That's my tea. Victims of sexual crimes need compassion, sensitivity, and empathy. Being the victim of a crime can be overwhelming. Your reactions are normal. Local certified rape crisis centres have advocates who are there to help all victims, regardless of whether or not they report to law enforcement. Hello, Dex. Up you come. There's a good boy. He kind of fluffed up the landing there. Hang on. Oh, God, you're going to go in front. Black fuzz coming through. There you go. Okay. Your reactions are normal. Local certified rape crisis centres have advocates who are there to help all victims, regardless of whether or not they report to law enforcement. Services are free and confidential. Certified rape crisis centres are legally and ethically required to protect your confidentiality unless you allow in writing the release of your information. Advocates are available to provide crisis intervention, speak to you on the 24-hour hotline, discuss your options, navigate available resources, go with you to appointments, address safety concerns, advocate on your behalf, help you apply for victim compensation. Sexual battery is a crime. In Florida, the legal term for rape or sexual assault is sexual battery, FS 794.011. Legal term for rape, Sexual battery means oral, anal, or vaginal penetration by or union with the sexual organ of another or the anal or vaginal penetration of another by any other object committed without your consent. Well, we're demonetized. Consent means intelligent, knowing, and voluntary consent and does not include coerced submission. Failure to offer physical resistance to the offender does not imply consent. A person under 16 years of age cannot legally consent to sex. Also, a person 24 years of age or older, or a person in a familial or custodial position or of authority cannot receive consent from 60 and 70-year-old minors. Forensic exam. What is a forensic exam? The forensic exam is a head-to-toe exam to collect evidence and check for injuries after a sexual crime. What are my rights with regard to the exam? Stop the exam at any time. Have an advocate from a rape crisis centre with you. Be informed about the status of the kit during processing. What evidence is collected? During the exam, the medical professional may collect blood, urine, saliva, pubic hair combings, and or nail samples. They may also collect items of your clothing. They will ask you questions about the crime and your medical history in order to help them collect evidence. What happens to the evidence? If you make a report to law enforcement, your kit will be sent to the regional or statewide lab within 30 days for testing. The lab is required to process the kit within 120 days. If you don't report the crime to law enforcement at the time you obtain the exam, your kit will be stored anonymously. Your kit may be stored for only a limited time, depending on your community's storage space. The local rape crisis centre can advise you about the storage timelines in your community. Victim Bill of Rights. You have the right to obtain a forensic exam whether or not you report to law enforcement. Have an advocate at the forensic exam with you. Have the forensic exam sent for testing within 30 days if reported to law enforcement. Review the law enforcement report prior to final submission. Be informed, present, and be heard at all crucial stages of the criminal or juvenile proceeding. Have an advocate with you during a discovery deposition. Have identifying information about the criminal investigation kept confidential. Have the offender, if charged, tested for HIV and hepatitis. Attend sentencing or disposition of the offender. Notification of judicial proceedings and scheduling changes. Notification about the release of incarcerated offender. Request restitution. Give a victim impact statement. Not be subjected to a polygraph. Take up to 3 days of leave from work with eligible employer. Apply for an injunction if you fear for your safety or offender is nearing release. Victim compensation. You may be eligible for financial assistance for medical care, lost income, mental health services, relocation, other expenses related to injuries as a result of the crime. Contact your local certified rape crisis centre for more information. This project was supported by grant number 2015 WLAX0037, awarded by the Office of Violence Against Women, U.S. Department of Justice. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this publication are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Department of Justice, Office of Violence Against Women. Resources. Florida Council Against Sexual Violence. 1-888-956-7273. www.fcasv.org. Victim compensation. 1-800-226-6667. www.myfloridalegal.com. Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Sexual Offender Predator Unit. 1-888-357-7332. 1-850-410-8572. For TTY accessibility, 1-877-414-7234. Email sexpred@fdle.state.fl.us. Florida Department of Corrections, Victim Information and Notification Every Day, Vine. 1-877-VINE-4FL. www.dc.state.fl.us/victasist or victast/index.html. HTML. Sorry, I'm slowing my words a little bit. I might actually be ending this stream a little bit early, but not yet. Florida Abuse Hotline, 1-800-792-2873. Local Rape Crisis Center, Palm Beach County Victim Services and Certified Rape Crisis Center, Victim Services SART Center, 4210 North Australian Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33407. Office 561-625/-2568. Helpline 866-891-RAPE 7273. www.pbcgov.com/public safety/victim services. Yep, this is getting demonetized. Okay, next one. Center for Trauma Counseling, where your emotional healing can begin. A non-profit community counseling center, serving Palm Beach County and beyond. Individual, couples, family, and group therapy. Services for children, 3 years old to adults, 99+. We offer affordable counseling services to those that are insured and not insured. Insurance accepted: Cigna, Humana Commercial, Magellan, Beacon, Humana Medicaid, Coventry. Sliding scale, reduced fees based on income for those who qualify. Languages spoken: English, Spanish, and Farsi. Evidence-based models: play, sand tray therapy. EMDR, trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. Hours Monday to Friday, Saturdays and evening appointments available. Referral process: call 561-444-3914 office. Email info@palmbeachmentalhealth.org. Center for Trauma Counseling Inc., 6801 Lake Worth Road, Suite 307. Green Acres, FL 33467. Office 561-444-3914. www.palmbeachmentalhealth.org. Jesus Christ, this one's going to be a mouthful. Office of the Attorney General. The Capital, PL01, Tallahassee, Florida, 32399-1050. Office 800-226-6667. Fax 850-414-6197. Sorry. Bill status information for providers, 850-414-3331. TTD users may call through Florida Relay Service at 1-800-955-8771. Website, myfloridalegal.com. Email address, vcintake@myfloridalegal.com. Bureau of Victim Compensation Claim Form, BVC. Instructions. Please read the eligibility requirements to see if you qualify for this program. Fill out this form completely. Please print. Attach all required documentation and submit to the above address. If you move or change your address, you are required to notify this office. Check the type of victim compensation benefits you are requesting. Not clicked. Disability. Compensation for the victim who suffered a permanent disability. Attached documentation as outlined in Section 3. Wage loss. That's ticked. Compensation for the victim who lost wages due to crime-related physical injuries. Attached documentation as outlined in Section 3. Loss of support was ticked and is scribbled out. Loss of support. Compensation for the dependents of a deceased victim who was employed at the time of the crime. Attached documentation as outlined in Section 4. Expenses is ticked. Payment or reimbursement on behalf of the victim for crime-related funeral, burial, medical, dental treatment, and mental health counseling expenses, as well as prescriptions, eyeglasses, dentures, or a prosthetic device lost, damaged, or required because of the crime. Attach itemized bills and receipts from treatment/funeral providers. Funeral burial is not clicked. Medical dental treatment is ticked. Mental health and grief counseling is ticked. Emergency assistance, not ticked. Reimbursement for documented wage loss and out-of-pocket expenses related to the crime. Attach receipts. Check all other types of benefits you are requesting. Separate claim numbers will be assigned. None of these are clicked, but I'll read it anyway. Property loss. For an adult over the age of 60 or disabled adult, attach proof of disability prior to the date of crime from a physician or the Social Security Administration who suffered the loss of tangible personal property as the result of a criminal or delinquent act. Attach a receipt of written estimate from a vendor or merchant identifying the comparable replacement value. Compensable items must be identified by the law enforcement report. Sexual battery relocation assistance. For the victim of sexual battery seeking assistance to relocate due to reasonable fear, a certified rape crisis center certification form must be received with the application. Domestic violence relocation assistance. For the victim of domestic violence seeking assistance to relocate to a safe environment, a certified domestic violence certification form and application must be received within 30 days from the date of crime. Human trafficking relocation assistance. For the victim of sexual trafficking with an urgent need to relocate, a rape crisis or domestic violence center certification form, Clara, and application must be received within 45 days of the last identifiable threat. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me if I slur my words a little bit. I haven't been feeling too great this weekend. Clara, get out of there. In fact, I know what she's got. She's got a booklet, because I'm looking to buy a car. I've got a booklet of a few makes I'm looking for. Not going to buy a car, probably be about the end of this month when I get my paycheck from YouTube. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. But she certainly shouldn't be eating it, because I haven't made a pick yet. Okay, section 1, victim and applicant information. Victim's name redacted, date of birth redacted. Social security number, email address redacted. Good girl. She's playing with a toy. City, North Palm Beach. Oh yeah, would you like all correspondence sent by email? You ticked yes. Address redacted, telephone number redacted. City, North Palm Beach, state Florida, zip code 33408. Telephone number redacted. Alternative phone number not there. Occupation, retail management. This information is collected for federal reporting purposes and is optional. Race, ethnicity, white, non-Latino, Caucasian, has been ticked. Gender, female, national origin, USA. Was victim disabled before the crime occurred? No, is ticked. The applicant filing on behalf of a victim is required to provide claimant information below. When requesting compensation on behalf of an incompetent adult victim, proof of legal guardianship must be attached, and the applicant's signature on the claim form must be witnessed by a notary public. Is the victim? Check 1. None of these are ticked. Deceased, injured, minor, minor witness, not injured, incompetent. None of those are ticked. Applicant name, none of that's ticked. Date of birth, not ticked. None of these are ticked. The victim is sending on behalf of themselves. So it's the same stuff up here, except for the bottom, I would say. Oh yeah, no, it is the same one. So none of this is typed in, apart from this one, which is relationship to victim. The rest of that is the same as this. Section 2, referral source information. Individuals who assisted with or filled out any sections of this application are required to provide referral information below. By signing this application, the victim applicant affirms that all information provided is true and correct, and thus all sections should be reviewed before the application is signed. Treatment providers can request training on the Victim Compensation Program, which is recommended prior to becoming a referral source. Yeah, there was no referral source. None of this is added. Section 3, disability or lost wages information. When requesting compensation for lost wages, attach a copy of your pay stub or earnings statement which identifies your employment status and wages at the time of the crime. If you are self-employed or work for a family member, attach a copy of your latest income tax return and applicable IRS schedule forms. If more than 5 workdays were missed as a result of the crime, attach a doctor's letter which excused you for this absence. When requesting disability compensation, attach a doctor's letter which specifies each crime-related permanent disability rating according to the American Medical Association guidelines or Florida Impairment Rating guidelines and forward Social Security Administration award letters. Again, this isn't covered. It would have supervisor's name, telephone number, name of business, company address. Is wage loss covered by insurance? Is victim disabled as a result of the crime? Is wage loss covered by workers' compensation? But it's not needed. Section 4, loss of support information or grief counselling information. Indicate the names and dates of birth of the deceased victim's surviving spouse, parent, sibling, or child. Hello again, Clara. You really need to stop blocking my view of the Epstein Files. I know you would rather I play with you, and I will after the stream, before I go to bed. Oh, God. You're being a gremlin. Obviously, you guys on the stream can't see what the cat is doing. The cat is now behind my monitor, right behind that camera. Oh no, she's up on the window ledge now. But yeah, she likes to walk around my entire computer setup, and it makes me paranoid for my plugs and everything. I'll finish that at least, so she can't drink my tea, because that's not good for cats. She can apparently drink Red Bush tea. So I don't necessarily mind if she sticks her head in and drinks that, but I don't want to encourage the habit. Hello, Dexter. You want to come up? You want to come up? Come up, Dex. It's okay. You're a good cat. You don't cause absolute havoc like your sister. Okay. Indicate the names and dates of birth of the deceased victim, surviving spouse, parent, sibling, or child. No, don't go on my monitor, cat. Jesus Christ. For loss of support, attach a copy of the deceased victim's latest income tax return and individual earnings statement, re-employment assistance benefit statement, court order for support, birth certificate, which identifies dependent relationship, marriage certificate, or legal documentation proving principal support. Okay, and that's none of that's not filled in. Section 5. Insurance information. Claimants are determined eligible for the victim compensation and property loss programs that may be exempt from the insurance deductible or co-payment provisions of their insurance policies. Clara, stop doing that. Okay. Is insurance or Medicaid available to assist with these expenses? Not filled in. Medicaid number? Not filled in. If yes, provide the following for all insurance policies, including Medicaid, Medicare, life, homeowners, automobile, or major medical. Attach all related insurance explanation or benefits statement. Company name, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Policy number, redacted. Telephone number, 1-800-275-2583. None of this additional information is filled out. Section 6. Other compensation, settlement, and attorney information. You must notify this office if you have received or if you anticipate receiving compensation or any benefits from any other source as a result of this incident. You must also notify this office if you have... Leave the mic alone, cat. Please. You can walk in front. Look. If you're going to be cute, at least let me pick you up. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. See, Dexter is sat politely at my feet. He's getting plenty of pets, but Clara, she likes to go everywhere. Come here, you. Section 6. Other compensation, settlement, and attorney information. You must notify this office if you have received or if you anticipate receiving compensation or any benefits from any other source as a result of this incident. You must also... Oh, great. Now they're fighting. Guys, stop doing that. You must notify this office if you have received or if you anticipate receiving compensation or any benefits from any other source as a result of this incident. You must also notify this office if you have or are planning to hire an attorney to represent you as a result of this incident. State the source and date received if applicable. 10th of 15th, 19. Are you represented by legal counsel? Yes. Attorney name redacted. Nothing else is filled out. Section 7. Crime information. This section must be completed and proof of crime such as a law enforcement report or charging affidavit must be attached. Failure to submit proof of crime will result in your application not being processed or your claim being denied. This hasn't been filled out. Although, considering it's the fucking Epstein Files, I assume they're cool with that. Section 8. Eligibility requirements. Okay, additional qualification criteria, deadlines, and exceptions not listed may apply. A victim compensation, VC. The victim must cooperate fully with law enforcement officials, state attorney's office, and the attorney general's office. The crime